Welcome back and thanks for staying with us. So the National Drug Law Enforcement Agency, NDLEA, has a new visa requirement that ignited controversies. The requirement, according to the NDLEA's Director of Media, Femi Babafemi, has been in existence for over 24 years. It states that married women must bring a letter of approval to travel from their husband with his passport photograph attached. However, there's an update. The reported update is that the NDLEA Director of Media and Advocacy has come out to say that the requirement for the married women to present approval from their husband for international travel has been removed. This was because of the outrage of Nigerians over the NDLEA's rule requiring married women to provide proof of spousal consent, including photographs. So join the conversation, because what we know that they've agreed to our, when we gave it to them, they responded adequately by taking in the pulse of the people, which is good leadership. However, the thought that it had been in existence for 24 years is what we are discussing. So you join the conversation by calling us on the numbers on your screen, which is 0810-764-1679, or you can tweet to us on X, #YoVTVC, or comment on YouTube. Why exactly would a government, for the past 24 years, have created a system where a married woman has to get approval of the spouse with a passport photograph? Who came up with that in the first place?
Simple patriarchy. That's what we say in patriarchy. I think about 3 months ago, I know I raised that issue with Mariah. We're supposed to have that conversation on air, but I don't know what happened. A friend of mine was traveling. She was traveling with her 2 kids. And she was going to meet her husband somewhere. So by the time she got to the airport, they were asking her for consent letter from her husband. This international, Murtala Mohammed International Airport here, from her husband. And the husband was not available. And she was like, why? My husband has traveled with these kids before. He didn't call me for consent letter as the mother. Why are you people asking me for? They say you are not going anywhere, madam. I've seen something in this place. That's how you women will come and carry children and be running away, blah, 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 blah. I'm not even kidding. So she had to put a call through to the husband who was in another country. Fortunately for her, the man had to step out of a meeting to answer the call and then spoke to the officers to say, please, this is my wife. They are coming to meet me in this country. Please allow them pass. When she told me, I was like, what? So I told Mariah immediately, and we're like, let's get the details. And I think we lost that in the midst of all the frenzy. But this goes to show you how, for a very long time, the patriarchy has not given enough respect, enough regard to the entity woman. Once you're a woman, you are seen as inferior. We married together. Fine, they are your children. They are my children too. Your seed is my egg. You planted the seed, me, I gave you egg to flourish it, and I nourish it. Why are you asking me at the point of, and even if I want to run away with the children, they are my children as well. No, they are even, it's not even your business. It's not even your business in the first place. Let the man take me to court and then handle the issue. Why are you stopping me at the point of travel to say I have to get consent? Somebody said one time that a woman has no place because from your father's name to your husband's name, if you don't have husband's name to answer, you are seen as incomplete. And that's the problem. So I'm happy that they quickly, went back and changed. But it's been there for a long time, and people have not really been coming out to complain about it. But in 2024, I think they should do better. I think patriarchy should step down. The life is for you and me. Nobody is more superior to another human being. As long as we are human beings here, we have a full-blown soul, we have a full-blown spirit, we're equal. If I marry you, we are like in my husband's house now. I understand that he's my head. He's the only person that is my head. The boss in
the man in the bus
is not my head. Your car rider that takes me around is not my head. The cameraman standing there is not my head. It's only my husband that's my head. So if I go out of my home and I have interactions with you, don't see me as inferior. I am a human being and I have a right to my children. Yes. I bet it too.
So to her story, yes, it happened to one of my friends as well. They went to the airport, but she had, she didn't change her maiden name. She was still using her name.
Okay.
Yeah, she was still using her name. She didn't change her name to her husband's name. So when she got to the airport, they refused to allow her to travel with the kids. The husband even sent a consent letter to them that, okay, these are his kids and all of that. But still, because her name was different, they were like, no, they don't believe that that's her husband. And so they are not going to allow her to travel. She didn't travel, though. In fact, they spent more than a week trying to resolve this. Because her own name, everything. It was terrible. They refused to allow her travel until she was able to, she had to quickly go, start trying to change her name to, all those kind of... I'm telling you, it was so complicated. It was so complicated. And I'm happy that at least now that...
Birth certificate carries name of father and mother now.
Yeah, in my religion, it's not compulsory for you to change your name to your husband.
Yes, no, but like if your birth certificate can carry, if you can submit birth certificate, but the idea of going to do now, look for birth certificate,
all those things. So, all it was just complicated, but last they were able to resolve, and then, now she's back. When she came back, she had to now, do that newspaper stuff to change her name to her husband's name because of things like this, so that it won't happen again. So immediately I saw that story, I was like, oh, this is the job of the Minister of Women Affairs. It's time for her to come out now.
Yes, this is shut it down.
This is what we need.
Yes, this is where we want to hear her voice. She should come out and fight for women at least and let women be. Because there are some women that maybe they are divorced from their husbands and they still have that.
The man is no longer taking care of the children.
Taking care of them.
So I cannot travel with...
And they still have the husband's name with them. So will you tell me that when you get that one, that will not answer you? You know, understand? Maybe I'm not talking to my husband again. Then
I remarried. What happened?
I even met someone. We were having a retreat and the woman was talking about how the fact that she hasn't spoken to her husband in 6 months. The man blocked her number for over a year. She's living in the house. The man left for over 6 months. Hasn't spoken to her, blocked her number, blocked her phone. If she was supposed to travel, how would she be able to go?
No.
Yes.
And it was intentional.
When they call him, he will not pick. Even if he picks, he says, stop there. Just to punish her.
So there are many scenarios that we need to consider.
So I can't believe that in 2024, a married woman is, we're still discussing this, and a married woman is being likened to a minor. A child. Hey, it is it is sad. So what means we are better off than your married ones?
My sister.
But I don't know. I have superiority over you, baby girl. So it is really sad. So are you trying to say that a woman doesn't have a right to divorce, to change her name from her husband's name to another husband in case she remarries, or to retain her son name? I have the right to retain. I will always bear my name. I've borne my own son name till I've established everything in that name. I'm not going to let go of that name because I'm getting married. That name would always be part of me. So someone is trying to say, I can't move around with my kids. That's unfortunate. I can't believe that this is where we are. Like you said, this is the time for... But he can move. And the same...
Fairness.
See, I wouldn't mind if NDLEA, they came up with the fact that, okay, woman cannot leave, a married woman cannot live without the consent of her husband, and a man too cannot live without the consent of the partner, so that we need to be balanced, and we're trying to fight people running away with kids.
Be their business.
But it shouldn't be their... No, I'm not trying to say it shouldn't be their business in the first place, but let's just say they decide to make it their business. It should be balanced. So like you talked about, this is still patriarchy in 2024, and it's totally unacceptable. And NDLEA should have all the backlash.
But they respond.
I don't even care that they responded. Yes, you find the drugs. They should focus on what they are focused on, and not nonsense. And I hope that Minister of Women Affairs, that they tackle this issue.
For them to think of it.
Is it just responding? There should be an apology on women.
We just had to just vent small on the matter. When we come back, we're going to be discussing how this also plays out with landlords. Some landlords will say, I'm not going to rent out my house to single women unless your parents are signing with you, or you have a husband, or your husband shows up thereabouts. We'll discuss that and much more when we return from the break. Stay with us. We'll be right back.
Stay tuned. Your View will be right back.